Okay. Waiting for a ride now. Oh, with all the coconut trees.
It's downtown, and then around an hour we'll shoot you over to Pearl Harbor.
Now for tour.
Let's go there later.
And Shane. And the tree.
No, we're going there.
Waikiki used to go by the name Halumoa. So all of this was actually originated for royals. You could only be now. It was built back in the 30s, used for dredging. Unfortunately, over time, sewage was redirected into there. But now, in the United States, it's massive. Kiwalo's Basin. This last swallow got pretty big. We had waves up to 20 feet. And Hawaii, and some of the best restaurants in the country. Got chefs busy. We came when they're all working.
Okay. It's our tour guide. We are now in the group tour.
Chiefdoms. So essentially, if you break Hawaii into a pie and you split the pie into slices, each slice has its own king, its own chief, and then that was its own kingdom. So we call it an ahupua'a. So everything in an ahupua'a, from the mountain to the sea, is that chief's rule. I'll say, Matt, you had a slice of pie, right, your own kingdom, and I had my own kingdom, and I wanted more resources, we'd wage war. Hawaii was a complete warrior society. And this guy right here, his birth was prophesied. So they went out and took it over. So he first took over Hawaii, he took over Maui, he took over Oahu at its time. So we have a Kamehameha Day every each time. Throw lays on him. There's hundreds and thousands of lays on him, and we celebrate what he's done for our people and our island.
Okay.
So in his hand, you see the ka'ihe. It's called a ka'ihe, or a spear. And then his trunk. His name was David Kalakaua. And David Kalakaua was a definite fan of flair. He had a lot of passion for the British monarchy, as we had at the time an alliance with them. So we modeled a lot of what he saw in England on his travels over the palace. No way of knowing that he actually passed away, because there was no telegrams at the time. There's no, right? There's no one to pick up the phone. So they came downtown on the hotel, and they saw the black flags, and they knew that was a sign that the king was dead. So his sister, which was totally taken away.
Listening to the tour guide.
Kind of gotta use your.
Dito tayo pagpipicturean da eh. Dito mo umay Hawaii. Dito tris nga dito. Sada. Dawan. Huh?
So these vines were actually, this was actually this. So when these vines touch the ground, they actually start taking roots and they just solidify.
Oh.
It's pretty crazy. This is why it looks like a trunk system. It's actually,
Wow, look at that, huh?
it's actually vines.
It's interesting. That's where people taking pictures there. Yeah.
You see like throughout Waikiki, you see them. They're pretty cool to look at.
Cool, huh?
For her to get the country back. good friends with Garfield, President Garfield, and Garfield sent one of his guys out here, and was like, "This is completely wrong, and the Hawaiian monarchy needs to be restored." And the Hawaiian monarchy in the third has its own country of power. It's trade and military. It's hard to say what it would be like today if we still had our own country. I imagine it'd probably be a lot like Israel, you know, where everybody would serve 4 years in the military just because it's a small island nation. But there's efforts to try to do it, but your job got passed down, right? If I was a canoe builder, I'd teach my son, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So like our family, Mokuahi's, we were the royal guards for the chief. And so my great-grandpa was passed down over time. So he was actually imprisoned here while at the same time that she was in prison. So it's actually, you know, it's kind of neat, you know, train of thought. Whether, you know, it's popular or not, based on the different islands. I guess it's like these things, right? I mean, a lot of people are going, you don't know what goes on here. Something. Children of her own. She had adopted 3 of them. And
Lily.
pretty heavy part of history.
So,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, so again, this is our state capital, government offices.
Right.
Yeah, so from that point, it was just a little territory.
Diba? Parang Malacanang ito.
I think this is not. There's nobody here now. Anong yun na? It's just like. Yes. Communicable disease.
There's a really big outbreak here. 3 years old, and just if you showed any signs, they would take you right from your house and escort you right to a place called Kalaupapa on the island of Molokai. It's on the bottom of the valley, has its own coast, it's completely isolated, and you would go there to die, essentially.
Oh my
Father
God.
Damien saw this great travesty and actually went to Kalaupapa.
Why don't you like this?
Ah.
Most state capitals, when you go into them, you have to go through a door in security.
Okay.
This is the only one that's open.
Wow.
You got the House of Representatives here.
Okay.
You got
Oh, the
over
Senate
here.
there.
But if you look down, see?
Oh,
the
look at
chambers.
that.
Now, see this right here? That's right here. Go there and watch them do legislation stuff.
The legislation, yeah.
And then they enter this is the House and then the Senate is over on that side. It's not in session, so it's not open. Yeah.
That's their light, like light.
Right down here.
Filipino security. Alright.
Nagpakilala pa yung ka.
On the left, thank you. Apa yang kumur-kura? So we're done with the tour here. Right. Just like we're in Europe. Plaza. Alright, let's get in.
Through everything that we have, and people are trying to push for a revitalization effort in better feed the communities. So one, the food costs, if you guys haven't gone to the grocery store, you'll notice that the food costs are so high. And that is one of the main reasons. I recommend checking that out. But if you're not able to, there are museums on their property, which is pretty amazing and interesting. We have a lot of humpback whales that do their breeding here. They'll bring their babies. Sessions grew everything that we have, and people are trying to push for a revitalization effort to better feed the communities. So one, the food costs, if you guys haven't gone to the grocery store, you'll notice that the food costs are so high. And that is one of the main reasons. I recommend checking that out. But if you're not able to, there are museums on their property, which is pretty amazing and interesting.